All right, so at this point, you should have already watched the lesson content. So make sure that you do that and you really understand what a state, a nation, nation state, multinational state, and stateless nation are. And now I'm going to give the instructions. By the way, you also should have done the state and nation discussion post just to kind of check your understanding. So the next thing that you're going to do is I'm giving you an instruction for like the bigger assignment here, which is the state and nation Geoinquiry. So you're going to open this up. And the first thing it's going to ask you to do is it's going to ask you to open a map. But there's a little bit of intro. It does give you the definitions of states, nations, nation states, multinational state, and stateless nation here. So they're all highlighted here. But this is a little bit of an intro. Then it's going to give you some instructions. And I'm just going to go through and actually highlight all the things you need to write. So you're going to click on the map link here to launch the map. And so you're going to start by just launching a map. And so we did the World Population Geoinquiry, and this is another geoinquiry that's very similar to what you did before, but it's just with different content. So what you're going to do is you're going to launch that map. Anytime that you see an arrow, that is something that you are going to do to the map. So the first thing is just going to tell you to click on contents, and you're going to see a whole bunch of different layers here. Then you're going to click on global country boundaries. So you're going to start with global country boundaries, and you're going to turn that on. Then you're going to check the box next to layer global national boundaries. And so the global country boundaries are just the countries, right? So we're looking at the countries of the world, but now we're going to click on this global nation boundaries. And this is instead going to show us the nations of the world. So it's going to show us the boundaries between different ethnic groups or different nations. And so you have both of them on. And if you kind of go back and forth, you're going to see the differences and the similarities possibly between the country and the nation boundaries. So the first question just says, what is the relationship between nations and states? And then you're going to answer that question. So then you're going to kind of go through every now and then it's going to ask you to click on a bookmark. And when you click on a bookmark, you're going up here and you're going to click on the bookmark. So it's going to bring you to a part of the map. So those bookmarks are kind of just like a bookmark. It's going to bring you back to the section or bring you to a section that you want to be at. And you're going to be taking a look at different configurations of states and nations all along this map. And so at some points it asks you to just kind of like describe some things. At some points it asks you to use one of the terms to explain what you're looking at. And so going back to those terms highlighted in yellow up here is going to be helpful. So work through that. If there are questions or you're a little bit confused, let me know. You can always, so you can always just come to office hours or reach out to me if there's parts that are confusing. I did post down here one thing that was a little bit confusing when I've done this in the past, and that was where to find the different nations. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to click on the country. So this explains that you click on Japan, and when you click on Japan, it shows ethnic group or ETH group, and you'll see Japanese. So that is how you're going to find like the ethnic group or the nations. That might be helpful. So work through it, try it, reach out if you have any questions.